Let me start by saying this clearly. Not every dream is from God, and not every dream is random. I learned that the hard way. When I was deep in the occult, dreams were one of the primary channels we studied, manipulated, and monitored, because dreams are the place where resistance is lowest. The mind rests, the spirit is exposed, and transitions are often announced before they happen. That's why some of you watching this have been having dreams lately that don't feel ordinary. They linger when you wake up. They feel symbolic, sometimes confusing, sometimes vivid, sometimes repetitive. And deep down, you felt it, that sense that something is about to change, but you can't fully explain what. I want you to understand this before financial elevation happens in the physical. It is often signaled in the spiritual, not as lottery numbers, not as instant riches, but as imagery that points to authority shifting, access opening, or restriction lifting. In the occult, we paid close attention when people started dreaming differently, because it meant a season was ending. Either favor was coming or opportunity was about to be stolen if they didn't act with wisdom. Many believers ignore these dreams because they sound too good to be spiritual. But increase is not unspiritual. Provision is not accidental. And wealth, when aligned correctly, is a tool, not a temptation. Some of you have been praying for breakthrough for years. Others stopped praying and just endured. And now, without trying, your dreams have changed. Not louder, clearer. Not frightening, directional. This message is not about hype. It's about recognition, because when certain dreams appear, they are not invitations to wait. They are signals to prepare, align, and act wisely before momentum passes. In the chapters ahead, I'm going to reveal 7 specific dream patterns that consistently appeared right before financial increase. Patterns I observed repeatedly, both in the occult world and later, after I walked away from it. If you've had even one of these dreams recently, this is not coincidence. It may be confirmation. And what you do after recognizing it matters more than the dream itself. One of the most common dreams that appears right before a financial shift is this: you dream of a house. But not just any house. It's often larger than where you live now. Sometimes it's unfamiliar. Sometimes it feels old but valuable. And very often, in the dream, you're walking through rooms you didn't know existed. Let me explain why this matters. In spiritual symbolism, a house represents capacity, what you can hold, manage, and steward. When someone dreams of discovering new rooms, hidden floors, or unexplored spaces, it signals that their capacity is expanding, even if their circumstances haven't caught up yet. In the occult, we were taught to watch for this dream carefully, because when someone starts realizing, symbolically, that they own more than they thought, it means authority is shifting internally first. And money always follows authority, never the other way around. Some of you dreamed you were cleaning the house. That matters. Cleaning means removal of old limitations, mindsets, habits, even generational beliefs about money that no longer fit the season you're entering. Others dreamed the house was being renovated, repainted, or repaired. That signals preparation. Expansion doesn't come to what's unstable, it comes to what's being strengthened. Here's the part many people miss in these dreams. You're usually not excited at first. You're curious, sometimes confused, sometimes overwhelmed. That's because your conscious mind hasn't caught up to what your spirit already knows. That more responsibility is coming. If you dreamed of inheriting a house, being given keys, or realizing the house was legally yours, that's even more specific. Keys represent access without striving. Inheritance represents provision that isn't earned by effort alone, but by alignment. This is not a promise of instant wealth. It's a warning and a blessing. Because if you don't mentally and spiritually prepare for expanded capacity, increase can become pressure instead of freedom. So if you've had this dream recently, the question isn't when money will come. The real question is, are you preparing yourself to manage what's already being assigned to you? Because the house appeared first for a reason, another dream that consistently appeared right before financial increase was this. People would dream of finding money unexpectedly, not working for it, not chasing it, just discovering it on the ground, in drawers, in bags, or hidden inside objects they almost ignored. This dream is not about laziness or luck. It's about provision replacing struggle. In the occult world, this dream was taken very seriously because it signaled that supply was about to come from an unexpected channel, not the job you've been relying on, not the path you've exhausted, but something that was already nearby, overlooked, dismissed, or underestimated. Many believers misunderstand this dream because they focus on the money itself. But the real message is this: you are about to recognize value where you once saw nothing, a skill, a connection, an idea, a door you walked past for years without noticing. Pay attention to how you felt in the dream. Were you calm, surprised, relieved? If there was peace, it means the increase is aligned. If there was fear, like someone might take it from you, it reveals lingering scarcity, thinking that needs to be confronted before the blessing manifests fully. Some people dream the money is old, dusty, or forgotten. That points to restoration. Something owed, delayed, or blocked in the past is being released now. Others dream the money keeps appearing no matter where they go. That's a sign of favor following movement, increase attached to obedience, not stillness. Here's something most people don't realize. In many of these dreams, the amount of money isn't huge. And that's intentional, because the dream isn't about the size of the blessing, it's about the pattern changing. Once provision begins to flow without striving, Momentum builds quickly. If you've had this dream, don't wait passively. Ask yourself, what have I been overlooking? What opportunity have I dismissed because it didn't look dramatic enough? Because when money appears without searching in a dream, it's a sign that alignment is replacing effort. And when alignment arrives, increase doesn't need to be forced. It simply shows up. Another dream that signals a coming shift in wealth is surprisingly quiet. There's no money in it at all. Instead, you dream of being lifted, promoted, or placed somewhere higher, an upper floor, a mountain, a stage, an office, or even being seated above others. In the occult, elevation dreams were watched closely because they reveal movement in rank before movement in resources. Wealth follows position. It always has. When someone is elevated in the spirit, provision follows naturally in the physical. Some of you dreamed you were suddenly in a better seat, a better room, or a higher place without fighting for it. No competition, no argument. You just belong there. That detail matters. Because forced elevation creates resistance, but assigned elevation creates peace. Others dreamed of riding an elevator, an escalator, or being carried upward. This indicates acceleration. What would normally take years is being compressed. The struggle phase is being shortened, not because you earned it harder, but because the season has changed. If in the dream you felt unqualified or out of place, don't ignore that. That feeling reveals humility, but it also reveals growth. You are stepping into a space your old identity doesn't recognize yet, and that discomfort is not a warning, it's confirmation. In some dreams, you're elevated while others stay behind. This doesn't mean superiority. It means assignment difference. Everyone has their timing. But when your elevation comes, it often requires separation from familiar environments, limiting voices, or comfortable routines. Here's what most people miss: elevation dreams often come before financial doors open, because money without maturity destroys. Position without character collapses. So the dream shows promotion first, to test readiness. If you've had a dream like this, ask yourself one question honestly. Am I still trying to convince people who no longer have authority over my next level? Because elevation doesn't ask for permission. It responds to alignment. And when elevation is assigned, resources follow quietly, but consistently. This dream is one of the clearest financial signals, but it's also one of the most misunderstood. You dream of crossing water, a river, a lake, the sea. Sometimes you're walking across it. Sometimes you're in a boat. Sometimes you simply find yourself on the other side without remembering how you crossed. In spiritual language, water represents systems you cannot control: economies, institutions, delays, global pressures, family patterns, generational limitations. When someone dreams of crossing water without fear, it means they are being moved beyond a system that once limited them. In the occult world, this dream was interpreted as release from dependency, dependency on one income, one source, one approval, one way of surviving. The water represents what once threatened you. Crossing it means it no longer has authority over your future. Pay attention to the condition of the water. If it was calm, it signals a peaceful transition. Money will come through stable, legitimate channels. If it was rough, but you still crossed safely, it means pressure will exist, but it will not stop you. Turbulence without destruction is proof of protection. Some of you dreamed you crossed with others. That indicates collective elevation. Your breakthrough is tied to helping or leading others. Business partnerships, family lifting together, community-based increase. Others crossed alone. That means your path is unique, and comparison will only delay what's coming. Here's a critical detail. If you crossed and did not look back, it means the old struggle season is ending cleanly. But if you kept looking behind you, checking the shore, or worrying about what you left, it reveals lingering attachment to survival thinking. Wealth does not flow easily into hands that still believe they must drown to deserve it. This dream comes when provision is about to shift from effort-based to trust-based. Not careless trust, but aligned trust. The kind where you move when told, stop when warned, and don't panic in transition. If you've had this dream, don't rush backward for familiarity. Don't rebuild what you were rescued from. Because when you cross water without fear, it means the system that once controlled you no longer defines your outcome. And that is when increase finally has room to breathe.